just over a year ago, I caught what I thought was the hardest shiny Pokemon to find. But I couldn't have been more wrong, because nothing will ever come close to these two shiny Pokemon, ones that took me a year and over 200 hours to find both. So this all started on February 7th, 2023, when I started my Twitch stream ready to take on easily the most daunting task in all of Pokemon, finding both of the rarest shinies. The first of which is the Dunsparce, the evolution of Dunsparce new to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, who 99% of the time looks like this, but 1% of the time it will have a third segment. However, it's a 1 in 100 chance for this to happen, making the odds of a shiny one 1 in 409,600. Which, just for some perspective, is over 20 times rarer than being struck by lightning. And the best way to do this is to find a bunch of shiny Dunsparce, theoretically 100 of them, and evolve them until one has 3 segments. So I went just outside Area 0, where I will hunt all of them to make a sandwich that would bring my shiny odds down from 1 in 4,096 to 1 in 683. Then I went over to this rock because it literally only spawns Dunsparce with a normal type encounter power sandwich, making it the best place to hunt because you can reset a bunch at once. When after just 6 minutes of my first sandwich I found my first one. My sandwich then ended with no more luck, but it was time to evolve my shiny, and after just leveling it up one time, it evolved into, unsurprisingly, a 2-segmented Dunsparce. So this was my life for the foreseeable future, as I would stream time and time again, catching Dunsparce each time, and as I caught my second, third, and fourth, I stayed optimistic, because I was still early in the hunt and was finding a shiny per sandwich, which felt pretty good. But something about watching them evolve, always being disappointed with the result, was discouraging. The next night I caught 2 more in my first sandwich and watched them inevitably evolve into 2-segmented Dunsparce, and at this point I started to realize just how rare this Pokemon was going to be, wondering if it was even worth the time and effort I was putting into it, but for some reason, I kept going, getting another 2 shiny Dunsparce on my next sandwich and soon after going up to evolve them. But with my expectations at this point as low as ever, I watched the first evolve, ready to be disappointed, and on February 17th, just 10 days after I started this monumentous hunt, this happened. Oh my god! Oh my god! 1 in 409,600 odds! I was absolutely shocked. Right as the sheer magnitude of this challenge started to set in on my 7th try, I found it. But little did I know this Dunsparce would be nothing compared to the next shiny, one that I would spend a year of my life and hundreds of hours to find. That being none other than Mousehold, the evolution of Tandemaus, both of which brand new to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, who, like the Dunsparce, looks like this 99% of the time. But 1% of the time, instead of having 2 little mice, it will have only 1. Now, the odds of this happening are 1 in 100, making the odds of a shiny one, much like the Dunsparce, 1 in 409,600. But you may be asking yourself, why didn't you show the shiny like you did before with the Dunsparce? And to that I say, that is the shiny, and one of the many reasons this hunt is way harder than the Dunsparce. So, because I found it so early, I began looking for shiny Tandemaus almost immediately, and because it was only February 20th, 2023 when I started hunting, I figured this next hunt would take me at most another month or 2, and I'd be able to upload this video in late April or early May if I got pretty normally lucky. However, as you will see, this was not the case. But very naive at the time, I set out for the Pokemon League to start this hunt because Tandemaus spawns there in large numbers and I'll be battling and catching a lot of them. But because shiny Tandemaus looks almost identical to the regular, I can't just walk around looking at each Tandemaus, at least not yet, but more on that later. Instead, for now I'll be just auto-battling all the Tandemaus that spawn because auto-battling won't KO a shiny. But that isn't all, because when starting this hunt, I had big plans for getting as many shiny mice as fast as possible, and bred for a bunch of Tandemaus eggs to hatch while auto-battling for even more shinies. So with the same sandwich that I made for Dunsparce earlier, I started hunting, but immediately noticed that Tandemaus were not the only things spawning, with there being just as many Igglybuff, and on top of that, Igglybuff shiny is also almost identical to regular Igglybuff. But I'm here for Tandemaus, and even with all the Igglybuff, this was still the best place to hunt these mice at the time, when right at the end of my first sandwich I found my first shiny. Oh! Let's go! But I didn't evolve it just yet, and you'll see why I waited in a bit. For now, I just made another sandwich and got right back to hunting, finding another shiny in the first 10 minutes of that sandwich. And at this point I was feeling pretty confident that I would easily be able to get one shiny per sandwich, which was the pace I was at now as this sandwich ended without any more. So I made another, but this time I went the entire duration of the sandwich without any shinies. Something that hadn't happened before, but everyone gets unlucky, right? So I decided to take my 2 shiny Tandemaus into Area 0 to evolve them. But they don't evolve normally, and this is why I waited, because they only evolve after being leveled up in a battle, and so I wanted to evolve all the ones I found in batches. So I battled an Iron Hands, getting them both a level, and when I opened my inventory, I saw 4 mice staring back at me both times. And this was about all I did on stream for the next couple of weeks, getting mixed results, sometimes finding a shiny per sandwich and other times going 3 or more without a single one. I even found a couple of accidental Igglybuffs, and by March 6th, I had made 21 sandwiches and only found 7 shiny mice. Raising the question, how many sandwiches will this hunt take? Because at this rate it would take upwards of 300, and it was for that reason I decided things needed to change. So, I reset for an outbreak of Tandemaus in a completely new area and made my sandwich, but because this is an outbreak, my new shiny odds would be at 1 in 512, the best possible. But with it being an outbreak, I can't just KO the mice because outbreaks have a set number of Pokemon, and doing so would deplete the outbreak. But I went the whole stream without anything, and dude, I don't know if I missed a shiny, but unfortunately the tall grass made it almost impossible to see the mice and even harder to spot a shiny. So it's a very real possibility, and I tried everything, even a filter to change the color of what the mice look like in-game, but to no avail. But the next night, I found something even better. Another outbreak of Tandemaus, but this time on the beach, meaning no grass to get in the way and no more Igglybuffs. So now I could finally just walk around looking at each mouse one by one, but Tandemaus were not the only thing I would find. Dang, man. Unfortunate. Now, this area, while it didn't have Igglybuff, had a lot of Squawkabilly. This little guy right here, and they were spawning because of the normal typing counter power from my sandwich. But I found a way around this, that being a completely different sandwich and one that would give sparkling power, boosting my shiny odds but didn't have encounter power. So at long last, with a good spot to catch Tandemaus, I got to it, spending the next few months hunting almost every night on stream. And god, I found a lot of shinies. And after 52 hours, a weird assortment of random shinies, and 25 shiny Tandemaus, all of which evolved into 4 family Mousehold. Oh, and because I obviously don't need 25 of these things, let alone how many more I find later in this video, I will be giving them all away along with the 6 3-segmented Dunsparce I found earlier. But I'll give the rest of the details at the end. But at this point, it was April 22nd, and I was not where I thought I would be, so I decided to make another big change. Because this whole time, every single Tandemaus I had found was on stream, which was really holding back how many I could find, because it made it so I only had an hour or 2 each day to hunt. By going offline and only recording the challenge, evolving the shiny mice on stream of course, I could hunt any time of day for as long as I wanted, watching YouTube videos and Twitch streams, which really cut the boredom. Because I was grasping at straws at this point, just trying to find any motivation to hunt whatsoever. No shiny again. I don't know what to do, dude. Just because of how inconsistent and repetitive the hunt was, and I was only a fraction of the way done. But starting to hunt off stream really helped, especially after switching back to hunting by the Pokemon League, because it was really reassuring being able to auto battle the mice and get actual confirmation whether they were actually shiny or not. But more importantly, it really streamlined the process, because by doing this method I had to pay attention to the game way less. Basically, I wanted to make the process as mindless as possible. And I did this for months, racking up shinies and evolving them all on stream when, at last, on June 23rd, I made it to 30 shiny 4 family Mousehold. We officially have an entire box. And I was as discouraged as ever. But one thing was keeping me going, that being the summer. Because over the summer I would have a ton of time to shiny hunt every day, and I was sure I would get it before I had to go back to school. And boy did I ever shiny hunt a lot. Almost every single day, even if it was just for one shiny sandwich, but oftentimes more, I would try to hunt these mice every chance I got. Sometimes 10,000 feet in the air while flying to Florida. The grind never stops. Other times just on stream. But even though I was hunting day in and day out, I had only reached 50 4-family mousehold along with a few more shiny Igglybuff by the end of the summer, after 96 hours of shiny hunting. Which really hurt because I was so confident I would get the 3-family in this time, and I was at rock bottom, wondering if I should even continue this hunt, but decided I can't give up now. Not after almost 100 hours, especially after finding the 3-segmented Dunsparce so quickly. Oh my god! I felt like I had to keep going. Once summer ended, my life became school and shiny hunting Tandemaus, which made it all the more boring, and you can really see my level of caring diminish as the challenge went on. As I started to shiny hunt without my lights on, without my face cam on, just because of how numb I had become to finding shiny Tandemaus. Less than 2 weeks into September, the Teal Mask DLC released, and I didn't know it yet, but this would be monumental for this challenge. Why, you may ask? Because within Kitakami, the new area the DLC unlocks, there is the Paradise Barrens. And boy is it ever a paradise of mice. Because with a normal type sandwich, it will literally only spawn Tandemaus. Which, like I said, was a massive discovery, and without it, I would probably still be hunting. Because on September 19th, I went live to test out the new area, making 2 sandwiches and found a shiny in each, just like before with Dunsparce. So, I started shiny hunting here, which was way more consistent, but luck is still luck, and I would go on droughts like any other place I hunted. Once again, no shiny. Love to see that. That is just great. And over the next month, I shiny hunted like never before. Going from 59 shiny Tandemaus on September 19th to 91 by October 19th. 3 full boxes of failure. And this really just shows not only how good this new area was, but just how determined I was to get this thing, because in the span of 1 month, I shiny hunted Tandemaus for 35 hours, 1/3 of the time I had spent so far on the rest of the challenge, putting me at 135 hours total. But the main reason I was grinding this challenge so much was because the end of the year was quickly approaching, and it was starting to look like I wasn't going to get this thing by December 31st. And at this point, I was just so deep into the challenge, I was literally just on autopilot whenever I shiny hunted. It didn't even really feel like I was playing Pokemon anymore, it just felt like a chore that I had to do. And I persisted, shiny hunting day after day, when finally it happened. I found the 99th shiny Tandemaus, and just 2 days after, I went live ready to evolve 9 shiny mice I had caught off stream, and every single one was a 4-family. In that same stream, I caught 2 more shiny mice, numbers 100 and 101, only for them to evolve into 4-family mice just like the rest. It's not over. And this was almost my breaking point, because I couldn't help but think, I should have this by now. After all, this thing is a 1 in 100 chance of being 3-family. But I kept going because it was too late to turn back now, shiny hunting for the next month, a bit less than I had before I reached number 100, but trying to hunt as much as possible, and I did whatever it took to keep me sane, even if it was as simple as changing back to the old area for some shinies just for a change of scenery. By December 8th, I had reached 120 shiny 4-family mousehold after going back to the new method for a few sandwiches, even finding a couple more random shinies like this Timber and Spoink, but a lot more mice. And at this point, it was pretty clear I wouldn't be finding the 3-family before the end of the year, especially with the second DLC releasing, marking my December 8th stream, the last time I would shiny hunt Tandemaus in 2023. January 4th. A new year and the same old boring shiny hunt, and I was numb to this challenge and finding shiny Tandemaus a long time ago, but since hitting 100, more than ever it felt like there was no end in sight. Over the next few weeks I would find a total of 6 more shiny Tandemaus as usual, and that night I would go live to evolve them, likely be disappointed, and hunt for more for another hour. Basically what I've done since this challenge started. but this time something felt a bit different. A little bit of hope that maybe I would get this after all. And on January 26th, 353 days after I originally started this challenge, this happened. Oh my god. Is that it? I got it! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What number is that? What number is that? Is that 123? I found it. The last year of hunting and 181 hours was not in vain. Out of 126 shiny tandem mouse, it was number 123 that evolved into the 3 family. But more on that giveaway, because I have 130 shinies that I absolutely do not need, so I'll be giving them all away over on my Twitch this Friday, March 1st at 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. And if I can't give away all the shinies on that stream, either from not having enough time or not having enough people, depending on how well this video does, I will be giving them away every Friday in March from then on until they're gone. So if you want to be a part of this insane challenge, follow me over there, and thank you so much for watching.